G'day YouTubers, Tracy here. I'm just posting a video response to my mum's picture knit jumpers. She, back in the early 80s, she worked for a boutique in the city designing and knitting her own picture knit jumpers, which, believe it or not, sold very, very well. Mum got paid, I think, $30 to knit a jumper, $40 if she designed it herself. And they sold in the shops for, you know, anywhere between $250 and $350. Now, she taught me how to do it, but she could do a jumper in 3 days. It took me 3 weeks. I did do 1 or 2 jumpers for the boutique, but, you know, it wasn't worth it for me. So, you know, I just did a few jumpers for family. And I'm going to start with the one I'm wearing now, which is the last one I did, which was, I knitted about 10 or 12 years ago for my son when he was 10 years old. Most of my jumpers were, definitely this jumper is 100% pure wool, so they're quite expensive, even though it's all my own work. So after my son grew out of this particular jumper, South Park, that's Kenny hanging on across, and this is the back. In fact, for this jumper I even had a big sun badge that looked like the sun with the words, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards," written on it, which is still around somewhere. I should have attached it. But yeah, once my son grew out of this jumper, I actually knitted this strip of black down either side so that I could wear it myself. So jumper number 1, South Park. This one was done around about the time of the 1984 Olympics, which were in Los Angeles at the time when Libby Newton-John had a store in Los Angeles called Koala Blue, where she featured all Australian items. My mum actually was knitting jumpers to go overseas to this store, but it didn't, because of all the sales tax and problems, it didn't end up happening. But this is Willie, who was the Australian Olympic Games mascot at the time. The ones that my mum did in her video, she actually featured, to avoid copyright issues, she actually featured a koala from a cartoon known as Blinky Bill. But this is the official Willie, and he's got his little gold medallion on. And it's very tight on me now. You can see that I've grown a bit since the early 80s. So that's that one. Now, this is actually an Adelaide icon, which has been so badly put together that probably people who live in Adelaide won't even recognise it. But it's actually a big giant stone erection that is situated near our festival theatre. This is one that I actually knitted in one whole piece, so the picture actually continues around to the back. But yeah, a bit of a disaster, this one, but you know, hopefully somebody from Adelaide might actually be able to recognise what it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm not putting any more on because they don't fit me anymore, especially this one. This is one I did for the kids, one of the kids, Humpty Dumpty, sitting on the wall. I designed this one myself. I've actually tried to make a kind of a brick effect in the wall. I don't know if you can see that, if I come a little bit closer. So that's Humpty Dumpty, well worn, covered in stone. This one, it's not a picture knit, but it's one of the first things I ever made 29 years ago when my first child was born. It's got little pockets in it, zipper front. I'm quite proud of it for a first effort. This one was a complete disaster. It's supposed to be a monkey sitting in a palm tree, but nobody could work out what it was. It's because of the type of wool I use, a kind of lumpy wool. Somebody even asked me if it was Big Bird once. This one's actually crocheted in a kind of basket weave effect. I actually did a jumper for my ex-husband, and just with a little bit of leftover wool I made this little vest for one of the boys, but it never fitted over their head. It was never very good with necklines. This is a jumper that Mum knitted for me. I got jumpers for a few birthday presents, so it's got kind of a basket weave effect on it. very warm. This is another one of Mum's jumpers, Geisha Girl. Even back when she gave it to me 20 odd years ago, it was a bit short. I prefer longer jumpers, but this is quite intricate. I can't really get this quite intricate myself. It's got a little bit of lurex in it. You might be able to see a little bit of a glimmer in it. So that's Mum's Geisha Girl. Another birthday present from my mum. Yes, I actually did used to wear this a lot. You can tell by all the stains on it. Back in the 80s. You know, we all dressed like this in the 80s. You remember, you would have seen this in Mum's Picture Knit video. It's her design of Garfield, but what I did was actually make the design for the back of the jumper, which was quite hard to do actually, because I had to work out, for example, all of this arm showing in the front and part of this arm showing in the back. So when you did the reverse, you had to have all of that arm showing at the back and only part of that arm showing. So it all sort of corresponded. So it was a bit tricky, and I think I was only a teenager when I made this jumper, and I loved it. I lived in it. So that's Garfield. And that's all that I've got in my possession at the moment, but I've got photos of much loved and parted from jumpers that I've done, so I'll be adding them on at the end. Okay, thanks, see ya. I found the badge. Oh my god, they killed Kenny, you bastards. I thought it wasn't really appropriate to knit those words into the jumper for a 10-year-old boy to wear. And I don't know if I showed you the sleeves before, did I? Pine tree. And on this side is the schoolhouse.